Hey guys, it's Crystal City Your Homestead, and tonight is a super easy dinner. Hopefully I can get 8 minutes out of it. So, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my thawed out burger and I'm going to put it in a pan. Now I made something like this a month ago, but I haven't made it the way that he actually really loves it in like a year. And this is one of his favorite meals. And he's worked hard all weekend, so you know what? He deserves a good meal. I'm going to take the rest of those leftover onions that I had that I cut up from my garden. And I'm going to use those. If you don't want to add onion, you don't have to. You guys know how I feel about burger with onions. I think that it's just, I don't know, it's almost a necessity thing. Alright, so let's just get it warming up here. In the other pan, I do have potatoes cooking. And they're boiling up because we're going to use real potatoes today. And so this will be our last day of gluten-free, and I hope that you enjoyed excuse me, the recipes that I came up with for the gluten-free week. Now, next week is so weird because well, tomorrow will be weird because I'm going to use gluten, so that's going to seem weird after a whole week of not doing it. But next week, I figured with fall, coming, that it would be so nice to have a soup week. And I haven't been offered to play with the big girls to be able to do Souptember. So I thought I will do Souptember of my own. So if any of you channels that didn't get invited to do a Souptember, and if you'd like to join, just, let me know. And I will add you to a playlist. And we'll have our own Souptember. If nobody joins, it's fine. You'll just have my own. What's really weird and why I wanted to kind of change it was because next week it's supposed to be almost 90 here every day this next week. So I'm like, well, that's kind of weird, soup, and it's really hot. But then, I was talking to Rhoda, and she's like, soup is good any time of year. And she's right. And I've come up with some new recipes. And what I want to focus mostly on next week is they are going to be recipes that you can use from your pantry, from your freezers, your refrigerators, whatever it happens to be. It's not where you got to go out and buy a whole bunch of stuff. My oven's heating to 350. So it's going to be more of a pantry week too. The only thing I had to buy this week for next week is tomato juice, because I don't have any more downstairs, and I don't have enough red tomatoes to, my red tomatoes are all split on the top and everything else. We're going to try to take as much of the garden out as we can this weekend, hopefully. If not, that's alright. It gives my little woodchuck time to eat more. It was just not a good tomato year, and hopefully next year is, but I end up getting, 27 or 30, when I get 7 times 4, 28. Yeah, I got 28 or 31 of the 36 that I wanted, so that was pretty close. I was really hoping for more, but, out of the green ones, I got, some relish and some other things. So, it all works out. And, sometimes you have good years and sometimes you don't. Onions didn't turn out very good this year, but, it was our first year of doing it. And I'm sure we'll learn more and we'll be able to make better next year. I'm thinking about trying garlic this year, too. And I know you have to start that like in October. So I might take a small bit of my garden and try that. I mean, you never know. And then, of course, the following year, there'll be a rest. And I think 2 of my blueberry bushes died. It's just so hard because we really don't have much of a yard, and everything's kind of covered with our overhang. And so sometimes everything doesn't get as much light as it needs. So I'm going to let that hamburger fry. I know that kills up minutes, right? Just chatting with you. Oh, and by the way, Tom probably won't be here tonight for a taste test, because once he drops Courtney off, he's got to go and pick up that furnace, you know, the old one, and then get his tools, and then he'll be heading home. So he said just go ahead and finish the video when you get done, and he said he'll eat everything that's ready when he's home. So he loves this stuff, I tell you. So I'll be back in a minute. Alright, so now we want to add, this is probably half of a 2-pound bag of mixed vegetables. We're going to add that in there. And then we're going to use our gluten-free cream of mushroom soup. I know Rhoda said she's having a really hard time finding it down in her area. I got mine at Kroger. So I guess you can check there if you're by a Kroger. I'm not sure. It really sucks though. Alright, so I'm going to add pepper to that. We don't need much salt because, you know, of course, soup has salt in it no matter what. You know, I went to Sam's today to get something what I want to make tomorrow for both dinner and breakfast, and I wanted to get some artificial crab because I just love that stuff. And I might still get it, but first of all, it's went up in price quite a bit, but second of all, you know, there's quite a bit of sodium in there. I just couldn't believe it. But I like to get a salad made up, and I might still do that, you know, and put veggies and stuff in it. And then I know I used to work for a sub place, pizza place, whatever you want to call it, and we used to make a salad from the fake crab, and I do love that. So I'm going to let this heat up. The potatoes are nearly done, so then we're going to put everything together. That isn't quite heated up as much as I wanted it, so let's go ahead and do the mashed potatoes. I'm going to put, because I want these potatoes to be firmer but creamy, I'm not going to add a ton of milk. If I need more, then I can do that. Let's add some butter to it, because that's what makes the potatoes good. Is some butter. And then I know it's old-fashioned, but my mom always added pepper to her mashed potatoes, and I happen to like them that way. If you don't, you don't have to do it. Now, if you wanted to, I didn't even think about it. I should have had Tom bring me up mushrooms. I would have added mushrooms to that. But, you know, you can add whatever you want. Take away from whatever you want. And I'm just going to get these mashed up. Hopefully I didn't make too much for the pan, because, you know, I'm used to cooking for a whole lot more. So, we're going to take all of that and put it in the bottom of the pan. I think we'll be fine. I just didn't want to dump it all in there and then have it be way too much. That wouldn't have been good. Let's put that over there. By the way, for those of you that are new, my sink sits right over there, so that's what I'm putting everything over on the edge of my sink. I think that looks evened out. What do you think? I think it looks good. So now we got the potatoes. We're going to just kind of plop them on the top first. I know somebody said no potatoes tonight. I know, that sucked for Tom. He loves potatoes, you guys. I could give him potatoes 7 days a week, and he wouldn't care how you do it as long as it was potatoes. Until I actually got with Tom, I've never been, much of a potato fan, but you kind of, when you got something your spouse or your partner likes, you kind of have to change a little bit. And so, you know, he eats things that, you know, he wasn't the biggest fan of. And I do the same for him because, you know, we're married and we should try to make each other happy. And actually what's funny, a lot of the things that he's tried, that he's told me for years that he didn't like, he actually likes them. Like the liver, his mom could never get him to eat it. But I think it's because she cooked it in oil and it just didn't taste the same. But I cook mine in butter and cook it slow. And so it's so tender and he just loves it. So I'm going to use my cheese that I grinded up the other day. And we're going to cover that in cheese. No dessert tonight either. He took what was left of the dessert and he didn't finish all of his. He's like, add it to yours. He really liked that. You guys, I'm so surprised that something with cottage cheese could be so good. And so, yeah, we've been going through more cottage cheese because, you know, it's higher in protein and you can make some really good stuff out of it. They even can make pancakes out of it. So maybe one week I'll do that. So now I'm going to put that in the oven and you just, everything's hot. So you want to put it in there. I'm going to do at least 20 minutes. And let the cheese completely melt. There we go. Let the cheese completely melt. And then I'll be back and I'll do the taste test for us. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. Alright, it's done and it's piping hot. Look at that. Yummy. So let's give it a test. So good. So now you can have shepherd's pie, even if you have gluten issues. You can add whatever spices you want to it, anything like that, but now you can have your shepherd's pie. No gluten in it whatsoever. So, I hope you enjoyed the gluten week. Tom's going to love this when he gets home. This reheats so well too. And, you know, if you want to make it bacon in it, you can add ketchup to it and bacon, and then it makes a bacon cheeseburger one like I made about a month ago. But this one is legit just gluten-free. So I hope you enjoyed it. You guys have a blessed day. Be a blessing. And I'll see you tomorrow morning.